Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Wen. And how many people here love accountants? Woo, let's hear it. Yeah. Accountants, tax advisors, bookkeepers. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about something called CPAHub. So on CPAHub, you can snapshot, back up, and share QuickBooks Online client books. So for those of you who are developers in the audience, you'll note that in the tagline here, I have the word fork. So I'll explain fork to the laity in a moment. So say that I'm an accountant. I'm actually not an accountant, but just say I'm an accountant. I know I'm not beautiful enough. But I talked to a bunch yesterday at the show, so it was great to have a whole bunch of accountants to bounce ideas off of. Accountants and bookkeepers are migrating to the cloud, which gives us a lot of flexibility, the ability to collaborate, and frees us from having to do lots of boring technical support tasks like backups, for example. But the cloud has some limitations that really could make it better. So say if I have a practice serving lawyers or graphic designers or doctors, I probably have a standard chart of accounts that I'd like to pre-populate every new client with. And while I'm protected from a data center disaster, say California sliding into the ocean, as stated on the QuickBooks Online website, I can't roll back my client book to a previous state. I think we talked about that just a second ago. But let's say I would also love to show others how I handle certain tax or accounting situations. Actually, let's say that I teach an accounting class and would love to start every class with my students on a specific client book that is tied to the current lesson. And of course, do that with QuickBooks Online. Or maybe I'd like to even open source a client book, or try out a QBO app but don't want to try it out on my production data, but I want to try it out maybe on a copy of that production data. Right now, there's no place to back up, save, share client books or other cloud accounting data online. So what CPAHub is, at the very simplest, is an explicit cloud snapshot of QBO client book. You can name them, you can view them, you can search them, and you can restore them or partially restore them. You can also export them to Excel, and you can also annotate them. That lets you set up multiple clients in the same field, lawyers, accountants, graphic designers, or manage a set of franchisees. You can also sign up for a periodic snapshot of your client book or books to prevent from inadvertent or malicious changes to your data. Remember, QuickBooks doesn't do this natively right now. And you are also probably sharing that book with experts that you may need help with, say on tax or revenue rec or other type of issues. There's the app. So what I built was I was able to OAuth to QuickBooks Online. I'm going to open source that. Thank you very much to George and Priya. I just want to do a shout out for helping me get through that.
So what do you mean by partial restore? You
What was
said partial restore? Did you say partially restore?
You should be able, yeah, you'd be able to pick out. It's going to be a little tricky because it's going to affect your journal as well, but you're going to want to be able to pick out a particular, say, line item or invoice and then make a duplicate. So now you've got a duplicate in there, or you can write on top of the existing, say, invoice or transaction. Again, we have to be a little careful on what happens to journal entries. You can also restore it completely to a new client and then copy the data over, or just, print.
So we saw the safety net guy before, and he's doing
Yes.
he was doing snapshots for the individual business.
Right.
But this is for the accountant who's doing it, being able to do it. It's a more
Exactly.
powerful way to be able to do it.
Exactly. I want you as an accountant to be able to feel comfortable that your clients, all of them, and the most important ones you can do for longer histories, your data is not only backed up in case of a disaster like California, like sliding to the ocean, but also you can roll back.
I wish you'd stop saying that.
Sorry. I just moved here, so.
Where do you do the backups?
The backups would be probably to an S3 bucket.
Okay. And you can set up, like, if you want to do, like, every 12-hour backups for all your clients.
12 hours, or during tax season, you probably want to do it every hour.
And you can just set up a rule, and they can do it for all their clients.
Right, you can do it all the clients. There's a little bit of OAuth you have to go through, but other than that,
And
yeah.
did you code a lot of this here? Or?
Yeah, a lot of it, I didn't get to the demo, but a lot of it, yes, I coded it here. I was able to do a snapshot. Haven't been able to do the restore yet, but that's as it were. Sorry, I couldn't see the clock last round.
How does your file sharing system work?
Excuse me?
Sharing files, you said you can share files with other people?
I'm going to detail separately later, but there's a website called GitHub that allows developers to share code and fork code. So I want you to be able to also fork the books as well, copy them down, and then move them to your own client account as well. Thank you very much.